This is the end, folks. We've come to it. The time that I've been waiting for pretty impatiently for the last few years. If you're not one of these people, you soon will be. Your job is on the line and is likely going to go away. Either an AI system will take it or a robot, and they're coming for you. They're coming. If you think they're not coming, oh boy, they are. Ask the people at Tailwind last week. What is it? One of the most popular services for developers online to style their website, style their app, style their tools. 75% of the engineering team gone. Poof. Kablooey. They ain't coming back. Now, I know we've all been waiting for the unemployment rate to start to tick up again because that's the classic sign for a recession starting. But these jobs that are going away are not going to be replaced with what people have right now. What does that mean for those people? It means they're going to have to find some other way of making money. Uber, DoorDash, OnlyFans, pick your poison. I suggest trading. That's what I think. You can sell your feed on the internet, sure. Probably a lot more money, a lot more consistent money. I get it. But if you don't want to be doing that and you want to be sitting in a car driving food back and forth to people, which is a great service. I like when people bring food to my door. No shade to my DoorDash people, but that's not what I want for me. That's not what I want for my son. So you got to learn how to trade. All right. I don't know how else to say this. I want people to learn how to trade before your job gets axed, because it will get axed. They are coming for you. Silence! They want you gone. They want you replaced with iRobot or, what is it? What's that AI system called? Her. That's what they want. All right. So you got to figure it out. So that's what's been on my mind. So I've been just creating the best tools I can so that you can learn how to trade without having to go through all the mess that I did, all the money that I lost. It's a whole new future. But for that, you need to pull up your big boy and big girl pants, get to trading, and learn how to do this the right way.
The year is 2020. As the old financial empires collapsed and crypto drowned in noise and false prophets, one man lost everything. And in that loss, he was called. Through the wreckage of his own failure and the precision of his charts, a higher force revealed what others could not see and entrusted him with a mission to guide others through the chaos he barely survived. They call him Sacred Prophet. And now, the revelation is yours to claim.
All hail the Sacred Prophet.
That's right. Welcome to Sunday Fuel for January 11th, 2026. I'm one of your hosts, Sacred Prophet. Let me do a jingle plus a thunder right off. Joined as ever by my Aaron in training.
No, I'm not Aaron in trader. I'm the acolyte.
Aaron in training.
People don't even know who Aaron is.
It's one of those things, like if you've been around for a while, you know that, hey, they're talking about Moses and Aaron here. If you don't know, then it feels like you're missing something, okay? It's very burnt peanut style, very bungalators, which you have no idea what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, just one of the most popular streamers for Arc Raiders ever, but no, your head.
What's an Arc Raider?
Oh God, Jesus Christ, Peter. You're not up to date on Stranger Things, right?
I don't watch Stranger Things. I don't like watching.
Are you going to watch Stranger Things?
Well, yeah, probably. I mean, I'll have to start from the beginning because I can't remember anything.
All right. So clearly, your answers show that you're not even on the internet, because what's going on right now is that the final episode of Stranger Things supposedly ran on Christmas or whatever it was, New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a great conspiracy that it ain't over, and that there's actually another episode, a secret episode that's going to drop.
Oh, I like that. I love. Like
you don't get what's been going on online. It's been a tear, Peter. People have just been like this whole conspiracy theory. because inside of the final episode,
Whoa, 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 whoa,
if
whoa,
I were
whoa,
to
whoa,
tell
whoa,
you,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
no,
whoa,
if I were to
yeah,
tell you, no, don't worry about that. You had your chance. You're on the show. You're gonna hear what needs to be heard. There
it's not for my sake.
are clues galore,
Hmm.
suggestions galore that there's another episode coming.
Really?
But we all thought another episode was going to come on January 7th, and when that didn't happen, it was sort of like did you hear that the guy who promised the rapture was going to come,
Yeah.
and then the rapture didn't come, and
Didn't
then
it?
everyone was. I mean, people had sold their possessions, people had moved, people. I mean, TikTok that week was one of the best
It
TikToks
was
I've
really
ever
good.
seen,
It was really good.
where
Hot
people
take.
just sold everything.
Hot take. The rapture did happen, but only like 6 people got raptured.
Six people left exactly,
That's
and
why
not that guy.
People think it's gonna be millions. Nah, you might not be a very good Christian. Now were you?
Well, this is my version. This is my rapture style, where on January 7th, you're like, clearly that has to be the case. That there's gonna be another episode drop. It didn't drop, and I just felt like that's literally the reason why I incarnated on this plane. That's literally the reason I came here, and it's not happening. Strange. And so it could happen today. It could happen tomorrow. It's all kinds of suggestions that it's going to happen soon. I believe. Okay, I'm just going to put my hand up there. I believe.
Are you excited for
Because
it?
if not, it is one of the worst endings I have ever seen
Oh my
of
god!
a series.
Worse than Lost?
Right along there with Lost.
No, no, Game of Thrones.
That's
But
right.
you didn't see the last season of Game of Thrones.
No, I mean I heard about it,
Such hate.
but
I don't
it
even
would
know
be
why.
like that, but like times 10.
Wow. So now I gotta watch Stranger Things just so I can get it.
No, you gotta. That's right.
Just so I can
Look,
get
I got
it.
Peter's juices flowing. He moist. He moist,
Oh,
boys.
don't say moist.
All right. Well, a little bit of lightheartedness because Peter, people are losing their jobs.
This is the end. I heard.
Yeah. And I started seeing it like a recession is when your neighbor loses their job. A depression is when you lose your job, right? And so I had some clients last year who not only did they lose their jobs, these are people who are like they did some computer science degree, they went into the Silicon Valley, they were just walking that path that's supposed to lead them to $250,000 a year in no time at all, equity within companies, and the whole thing. They're just on that path. This is what they expected. This is what happened to everyone who came beforehand. And not only did they get fired from their entry level jobs, 6-figure entry level jobs, that to move back to their home countries. And the reason they were contacting me is that they had to learn how to trade because they weren't sure how could they possibly earn a 6-figure income quickly without having to compete with other people in a job and without being able to apply for a job. Right? Because even if they got another a job within the tech field, they would have the same expectation that their job would be gone too.
That's right.
Because you have this weird situation where the people who are already in if you already have, let's say, 30 years, 40 years of experience, you've accumulated a bunch of knowledge and experience in corporate structure and businesses and all that, where you're grandfathered in, and you're the one making decision to replace the junior people with the AI systems. They don't have time to learn the new skills. And so those guys make more money now than ever before because they could fire 50% of the workforce, and that money accrues to. I've seen on Twitter that the founder had to literally let go of every single one of their staff members. He only needed himself now.
Oh my goodness.
And he's like, what am I supposed to do? He goes, my days were dealing with people across 24 different time zones. He had to onboard people constantly, the rotating in and out, the job, the quality of the work was sort of, let's say it's 75% what he wanted, and then the AI system comes along, no downtime, 80% of what he wants. What's he supposed to tell his investors? What are you supposed to tell people? Well, of course I gotta let them go.
Right. That's brutal, man. That's brutal.
That's right.
I mean, look, you gotta it's gotta be you plus AI. At the very least, it's gotta be you plus AI, right? I think that's why Elon Musk created Neuralink. He's like, look, the machines are coming, and the only way we're gonna be able to keep up, the only chance we have He wasn't even saying that this is going to be guaranteed. The only chance we have is to merge with the machines on some level. I don't even think that's enough, but it's got to be you plus AI. You are no
Well, the
longer
idea, who was it? So go ahead.
you are no you are no longer in you are no longer in a monogamous relationship. It's you, your wife, and AI. All right, you're all poly now. Okay.
That's right. The I think it was Raul Powell saying this on the last one of the last streams for Real Vision. If it wasn't him, someone said this, and I thought it was very clever. If you look at the stock market and you go, okay, if I wanted to go into tech, I'd have to go into the Nasdaq. That would be tech. But if you actually look at the publicly traded companies, it's something like 80 to 90% of them. It's software that they're actually selling. That's at the core of their actual business.
Mhm.
No matter what you're dealing with, even if the technology isn't on the surface of a software, if it's accounting, if it's human resources management, if it's research and development in the medical field, and whatever it is, they're actually software processes that have been refined and that has been stored in tribal knowledge within the people within the system. Well, if you can AIify that even halfway, then that commoditizes that technology. That technology then now can be distributed, can be commodified and cross through different fields. Okay, that makes amazing new types of innovations. It also dramatically lowers the value of the initial software. So if your company is a $150 billion company, but it's based on the idea that your technology is this moat, now no longer becomes a moat, your company could do more, but it's worth $1 billion.
Mhm.
So you can have across the board these stocks, these prices drop dramatically because it's a premium placed on the the specialness, the what's the word, the non-fungibility of that knowledge. So it's not just regular people losing their jobs. It's main companies are like, well, how can I raise a $2 billion valuation for my thing? Because why would they need to pay me? Like, well, can you let me know why do we have to give you $150 million per year in order for you to do this? Well, I need to do the. Oh, actually, I don't need all that. I don't need the slow stats. I don't need that building. I don't need the whatever. It's just me and like two guys, and we can do that. Okay, so I'll give you $2 million. Okay, great. But it's not. I'm not no longer. It's not Pied Piper Silicon Valley anymore.
I was
So all
listening
that to
to
say is that
yeah.
if people don't understand that they have to use that commoditization of that software in their own personal life and have a business of one where you can't be fired because it's you. It's your business, you and what you're doing. No one can fire you. If unless people understand that, they are going to be absolutely screwed.
Well, the problem is that most people are not entrepreneurial. It's like 20% of people who are entrepreneurial who will go out and do their own thing. I think that's the crisis we're going to come to here. This is a problem that I had when I was talking. I was doing motivational speaking for years, right? I talked to people and I encouraged them to go out there and do things. And it took me years to realize most people don't want to do things. They want to do things in their private life. They want to go hiking. They want to play with their dogs. They want to go on vacation. They want to do those things, but they want to eat with their friends. They want to go out to party. They don't want to spend their time learning a bunch of new things, going climbing uphill. They don't want to do that when it comes to their work. And so I don't know what the strategy is going to be. Elon talks about this. He talks about universal high income, UHI. That's UBI, but taken to the extreme. But he seems to be of the opinion, if I read between the lines, that it's not a future of work and do more that we're heading to. It's a future of leisure and hobbies, and you've got to figure out, how you're going to be spending your time. Anyway, I don't want to debate that. Like that's not what we're going to be debating here today. I just don't know that most people are going to be able to self-actualize in the way that you're talking about.
Exactly. And that's why they need trading. You're right. Most people are lazy, boring, and stupid. They're not going to want to have. They want to be an entrepreneur. Let me figure out how to solve a real problem with this stuff. Well, where do you go when it needs to be just you? You need to be able to make a large amount of money, and with a system that's not going anywhere. Trading. Trading is for people who don't need to try. They just need to. They're just playing this game, and they just get good at this part of the game that they can see, can understand, and then collecting the chips off the table in order to survive.
But
Now,
it
are they
seems
going to
so
become
complex.
multimillionaires? No. Sorry.
It seems so complex. Trading.
That's why you're here with Sacred Profit. I get it, baby birds. Look, I'm not asking you to be me. That's crazy.
Okay.
Do you know how much time I spend paying attention to markets, paying attention to systems, developing new things, practice? What did you do today? Well, I sat here developing a new strategy. And in order to do that, I had to go through 1,000 other things. I built analytic systems, I built optimization engines, I consumed content online for different liquidity systems. I did all that. You're not gonna do that because you're lazy. I'm sorry. You're busy. I said that
Right.
wrong. You're busy.
Yeah.
You're doing other things.
That's right.
I get it. I get to do it.
Life
all
is
right?
happening, Tom. You got to live life.
Okay. Right. Fine. I'm over here in Noah building the ark, and I'm gonna get you on. I'm gonna get you on. So that's one of the things I wanted to show today. I've been working on this new strategy based off of my favorite indicator from our series, our set called levels. If you're on the Sacred Profit website and you go to from the Sacred Profit website and you go to anchors, levels is this indicator over here. And what it does is that it plots mitigated and unmitigated levels on your chart. If I just were to switch this so you can see the actual levels, let's just do that. Let's do that here. So on Price Action Live, you guys will probably see me trade this constantly. And if I just remove the waves and stuff, all right, now you're getting just the bare bones levels. Now it seems like a crazy set of lines on the chart, but they're not. Actually, I say crazy. I've seen indicators that are just completely bananas. You can't tell what's going to happen. These levels, just think of them as that the price is a river, and the levels are showing you where there are branches or rocks or whatever inside of that river, where the price will hit against. So that the price came up over here, ran up over here, hit over here is not a surprise, right? Are you surprised here that Peter, you look over there and it's exactly on that wick the price turns? And it
Well, I
happens
mean,
again over here.
I don't know
And it
enough
happens
to be
again over
surprised.
here. Right? And so those are the horizontal levels that are here. These are the mitigated and unmitigated levels that level shows. But it also shows these daily, these time-based moves. So you're like, why is it that the price turned around this area over here? Like, why is it around here that it turned around this area? Why did it turn around that area? Why did it turn around that area? Well, it's matching these times. These times that you see, these vertical bars gives you the times at which, if the price is going to change at all, it'll happen around those times. So I've been trading with this since last year, and it's been fun. But I've only been trading with it as a prop firm trader, as an intraday trader, for the last 8 weeks now. And I've been noticing these patterns within the price where I think it's possible to automate a system that can, pick up pick up those dollars. So over here, if this is what I've been working on right now. Right now, I'm getting something around between a 75 to 80% success rate on these on the strategy. So what's happening over here? The strategy is not out yet, but it should be out by tomorrow. Look for it inside the Sacred Profit Library. You guys will all get an email about it if you're registered. What it does is that it's looking for reversions, mean reversions, on an intraday basis. So you'll let me know, Peter, if you can see this here. Let me just hide a few things. So right now, this is just the same levels indicator that we were just looking at before. So you have the VWAPs that are showing over here. These are VWAP levels. And then, so this is the daily and VWAP, daily and weekly VWAP level. And then you have the unmitigated and mitigated levels. All right. But the whole point here is I want the script to be able to automatically pick up longs. Sorry, here's a good example. Let me change one thing here, Peter. All right. Oh my God. I'm looking at this and like how I've upgraded this freaking script. It's so cool. Let's see here. Let's remove the break evens.
Is this the updated? Wait, what is this? This is not the multi
This is a
VWAP.
strategy built on top of levels. I just want to show you the thinking behind it.
Is this the
All right, so
multi?
you have this.
Is this the multi
Go ahead.
crossover, multi VWAP crossover
No,
that strategy that you showed on Traders Post?
not at all. Completely different. This has nothing to do with a VWAP cross. It has nothing to do with crosses at all.
Hmm.
What this is doing is that it is trading the time in the market. I find not enough indicators do this. Plenty of indicators will give you moving averages and crossover levels and Bollinger Bands and all that, but nothing says, hey, at 7:45 do this trade, at 8 o'clock do this trade, at 8:15 do this trade. Which I find strange because the 15-minute on the Nasdaq, which is what we're looking at right now, the 15-minute candle tells such a big story. And I was like, well, what's the story in that 15-minute candle then? So right now we're on the 1-minute chart and we're looking at what is this? Is this 15-minute or 2 hours? Let me go double check. This is 15-minute. So every one of these white lines are 15-minute levels. And every one of these white lines like this, the vertical white lines, are every 15-minute increment. So look, at this 15-minute increment, we take a short and it falls down to the take profit, which is the 15-minute unmitigated level. Takes that trade. Then it takes a long over here, right at that 15-minute. This is the 15-minute line. It takes a trade right there, and it goes up to where? The unmitigated 15-minute level. And it goes again, and it happens again. It happens again. It does this again and again and again. So I was like, wait, why don't I just automate this? I'm such an idiot. Why don't I just make this into a strategy? And that's what I've been doing. And I've been setting up these. So it's not just that every 15 minutes take a trade. There's other stuff that are there that you can that I'm trying to optimize for. So for example, inside of the script, and this is where I'm going to need a lot of people's help. Inside of the script, I have all these different settings that, for example, I can decide I want to take that trade, but I want to wait 3 bars in, right? I'm going to wait 3 bars in before it takes the trade. So that, because I found that oftentimes the perfect time to take the trade isn't exactly on the 50-minute, it's sometime after that.
Mhm.
So I can do 3 bars out. Or I can say, hey, sometimes the 50-minute happens and the price is too close to the, like over here, you'll see on this 15-minute, the price closes and it's too close to the unmitigated level. So instead, I'll say, hey, forget that bar offset. What I want is I only want you to take a trade if the amount of money I can make to that take profit level is $200. If there's $200 worth of distance, which means like I'm higher up, then go ahead and take this trade. Otherwise, skip it.
That's a good idea.
Right? Or if it's not $200 there at the beginning of the trade, wait for the minimum take profit to happen. So wait until $200 does exist in it, so we can get into the trade when it does this sort of thing, where like over here, the price goes up and then comes down, but in the middle of the 15-minute candle. Or I might say, hey, I want you to take the trade on every single one of the 15 minutes. Just keep closing it out. Give it a second here. Close it out and look for another trade again and again and again. So let's say I take this away, and here it'll take a trade. It'll take a trade every single time. Or I might say, hey, that's great, but don't take the trades on Fridays and Thursdays. So there's all kinds of settings here. I go crazy when I build these things. So what I want is, for the reason I'm building this stuff is that I want you guys to, I'm only going to find the default settings you get right out of the box. It'll work for the asset that I'm talking about. But I'm looking at NASDAQ over here, and gold might behave completely differently, right? Gold might have a completely different characteristic to it. Or it could be the NASDAQ, but on the 2-hour time frame, and that behaves differently. So I want you guys to find out what are the ideal scenarios so that we can set up these settings, and then more and more people have more and more assets to trade. Because what we don't want is to be in a system here where we're all taking the same trade.
Right.
Okay, that's not going to work. I know you guys don't like that. Other people don't like that too. We're not going to all want to be able to take the same trade. But we're going to want to look at the asset that we want to pay attention to and set these guys up. So someone might say, hey, I want to run this on a 1 minute on the NASDAQ. And someone else might say, I'm going to run it on the 2-hour, but I'm going to do it on the NASDAQ, on gold, and on Bitcoin. So I'll take as many trades as you're taking, but across 3 different assets on a higher time frame. Well, now we're not competing with each other. but we're
So
figuring out, hey, the structure, the fractal structure of the market. I learned that if I tweak it like this, it works for me over here. And I could be like, you give that to me, and I might be like, oh, I can extrapolate that in order to add additional settings for you to be able to calibrate it in a different way. I might be like, oh, you might say, Tom, if you actually gave me this sort of feature to you put an RSI filter in there so that I can actually detect a momentum change, that actually might be better for me than if it was a bar offset. Okay, I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll put that in, and we can end up with these strategies that we're not competing on the same strategy. We have a tool set that we're all figuring out how to use.
if I want to modify your strategy to suit my particular needs, how do I communicate that to you?
You guys gotta the way to talk to me is through the Telegram group, right? So you want to go to your dashboard, and if you want to switch to my dashboard here, you just click on the open Telegram button at the bottom left. And once you click on that Telegram button, it's going to invite you to join the Telegram group. And once you do, you'll be able to speak to me through there. Now, everyone's going to see it there as well. If you're a beta tester, you have an email that's going to let you know how you can contact me directly if there's more things about the platform, stuff like that you want to talk about. Or you can email me at hello@sacredprofit.com or support@sacredprofit.com, whichever you prefer, in order to give me feedback if you don't want everyone else to see it. But I want to encourage people, let's talk. We're in a congregation here. I'm your fearless leader, but I am not one for secrecy. All right. So you guys talk in Telegram group. We all get to see it. We all get to give our 2 cents, and we move forward from there. And you don't have to worry about it. If anyone in our group is boring, lazy, or annoying, they're out of here. Okay. You don't have to worry about that.
How does
Believe
that
me, man.
drive with you say people don't want to be trading the same things. So if everybody just makes what they want public, won't other people just copy them?
Okay, so right now, this process that we have right now is only working for the number of people that we have within the group right now. Once we get to a certain number that I'm monitoring, then this is over. We're going to be doing specific things. We're going to have enough diversity that the odds that you're going to be following the same sort of setup is not going to be high. And so you're going to be able to combine 2 or 3 different indicators together, 5, 10 different indicators together to get the settings that you want, and the expectation won't be there that you would share it with the rest of the group. But you might still reach out to me and go, hey, Tom, if you made this for me, it would make my life a lot easier. Or, hey, this other this other company has an indicator or a system or a tool set. Is there any way we can get a version of that within Sacred Profit? Then I'd be like, okay, let's see if we can actually make it for ourselves.
I've seen that
Let's
movie,
use the
Paycheck.
commoditization of software to recreate what now people are selling at $10,000 per year, and we get it included within our yearly subscription. I think that is a great deal. I think that's a great deal. I get to be your Steve Wozniak, and you can be who's the guy who Steve Wozniak was?
Jabs.
Steve Jobs, Stephen Montgomery Jobworth.
Blasphemy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to ask you something here. What was that? Okay, I'll ask you the other question. Oh, what is the strategy called? What is that whole thing called?
I haven't come up with a clever name for it yet.
What?
I'm not sure what it is. I was going to call it Silver Surfer because I made it initially for silver, but that doesn't really match with the whole vibe of Sacred Prophet. But it's one of those things, I let the character speak to me. It lets me know what it should be.
Hasn't spoken to you
So
yet?
no, I've been banging my head getting the features. I mean, the features that I showed you over here, it's not even all of them, and I've made 100 different versions of the thing in order to get it to where it needs to be. I mean, when you make these strategies, you guys have to understand, it's a sea of red for me. It's drawdowns and failed accounts and failure, 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 failure. And I got to look at that failure going, I think I can make this better.
I can
make
fix.
this better.
I can fix her.
Yeah. I think there's something here because I go, oh, this is a great idea. Let me set it up. And it goes, fails. fails again and again and again. It fails on prop firms, it fails on crypto futures, it fails on whatever, or I forgot to account for something, right? So I'll make a great strategy and then be like, oh wait, this is for prop firms. Prop firm accounts close all my positions at 4 o'clock and they avoid volatility events. I wonder how my strategy just then fail. Oh, this drawdown, it has a drawdown for over here, but what happens if my drawdown happens early on and I blow up my account at the beginning of this? Oh, it turns out when you start on it, when you start the strategy, it's a gamble. If you start it in April, it works great, but if you start in February, you lose. So I got to test all these different things in order to see, okay, under the worst of circumstances, look, it's only after the child has properly been created do I name it. All right, Peter?
Okay, when it reaches the age of maturity.
Right.
Okay, but we need a working title for people to be able to refer to it when they message you.
Well, right now, this is the levels strategy.
The levels strategy.
Yes, that's what my working title is.
What
Oh, you want it to be like Nano Banana or something like that, right? You want some nonsense.
Yeah.
Well, you can come up with a name for it then.
Call it the this is the end strategy.
Well, what I like about it, it's that I think it's the first strategy I've ever seen, other than Rocket Sunday, which is which gave birth to this idea. Rocket Sunday is the Bitcoin strategy that we have been running, that's been successful, but it takes one trade per week and has to do with Bitcoin rebalancing. I love time-based strategies because I don't see anyone talking about it. I don't see ICT talking about it. Smart money this. I'm not seeing a bunch of indicators. People are not making these indicators based on time, which to me, I'm like,
all right, call it
idiots.
the McFly strategy.
Sure, but all my strategies are very irreverent
So
and
it's a working
religious.
title, Tom. It's just a working title. I'm not looking to name.
Oh, McFly. I like that. I like that. Wait, what's the? No, let's call it the almanac, because that's the thing in Back to the Future he uses in order to call. Plus, it's time-based almanac. That's what it's going to be called. We're calling the almanac strategy. I did it, Peter, without your help at all. I did
it. Yeah, a word that no one knows what it means. That's the type of stuff that Tom loves. The most esoteric stuff in the whole world. But I like it.
I do. That's exactly what I like. Almanac? You don't know what an almanac is.
Yeah,
you know what an almanac is?
Of course I do. Who doesn't? All right.
I know you roll your eyes at me like sarcastically just for fun.
Was I rolling my eyes?
But it makes me want to treat you like a woman, my wife from the 1940s. Okay?
Okay, you're gonna put me up, keep me pampered. I like that. You give me a little tap on the butt. That's good. You're doing a good job. How do I know if I'm doing a good job if I don't get a little tap on the butt? All right.
That's right. That's so you know that, hey, that skirt you're wearing, it's doing it for me.
It's doing it for me.
Okay. It's funny. I watch the Burnt Peanut. The Burnt Peanut is a streamer who streams a multiplayer game called Arc Raiders, and they have this thing called Slur Saturdays, where it's just they come with the most slurs. I mean, they're on the regular basis, they're friends and they're insulting each other and they're screaming and yelling. There's a voice chat within the game, so it's crazy. You know, it's all the worst parts of the Bible, as you might imagine, for when it comes to this sort of thing. And but what I love about how, I don't know, because it's the PC culture or whatever it is that happened over the last 40 years, but they'll not only launch like homophobic and sexist slurs at other people, but amongst themselves as well. They were like, you know, why don't you come over and, you know.
Oh my God. Whoa.
I'm not going to say it. You know, you're going to make me a meal and you're going to S my D, right?
Okay.
And the other person will be like, oh, don't threaten me with a good time. I'm going to come over when I'm done with your dad and I'm going to do it, you know, and it's like, oh, and you're like, whoa, super over the top, which I find so satisfying. So just to know that when I'm making these strategies and indicators and stuff like that, I'm listening to the streams like that. Well, it's either that or I don't make the strategies and I play those games myself. So which one do you want? I'm gonna be listening to these streamers that slurs all over the place. What do you want from me?
We thank you for your.
Cut this out of the.
We thank you for your service. All right, cool. So, Bitcoin still in the bear market?
Oh yes. Okay, so we're about to have a. They call it a bull trap. I call it a sucker's rally. All right. So if you guys remember, I'll just touch on this a little bit. Last week, we talked about actually, let's go to this chart. So you remember last week I was saying that the dollar was probably going to move up to its 3 month average, its quarterly average, and
Mhm.
that volume weighted average, and then Bitcoin could likely move up to over here 98.6, even up to 100,000 before it turns over. Well, the dollar did in fact move up, and it broke above that level, potentially confirming a bullish breakout. It's not confirmed yet. You guys see here, it's still neutral, 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 neutral. It's still neutral. But if this price, I don't know if you can see this here, Peter.
I can see it.
Um, this orange line here that has this dash attached to it, if that touches and crosses over this level, that's bullish. The dollar moves to a bullish regime if it crosses over. So we'll see. We got a big wick on this, and we could fall. We'll find out in 2 minutes what happens when the futures open. Um, very
But
likely
wait,
that we pull back, but if we don't, then we're going to bounce up. And if we do, I mean, but buy Bitcoin.
so
Bitcoin's buy now.
what qualifies this as a sucker's rally?
That what I suspect will happen is that we're going to get a pullback when futures open in the next 2 minutes. For the next week, we're going to pull back and ease up on the dollar. So the dollar's been rising up, and then if we get a pullback, it'll ease liquidity. But then we can get a big bounce up in Bitcoin again to 100,000, even up to 114,000. Yes, Bitcoin can get to 114,000 and still be in a bear market. So that could totally happen, and I expect it to happen. If we're seeing over here, remember we are just looking at the levels indicator. So this bar over here is a 3 month bar, right? At these 3 months, I don't know if I've shown this before. If you take a look at the 3 month Bitcoin, so Bitcoin rallies up. So let's take a look. Every one of these orange bars is 3 months. Okay. So you see here, it rolls up into the 3 month, and then in the next 3 months, it fell.
Yeah.
And then the next 3 months, it rises up. And then the next 3 months, it was flat. And then one after that, it fell. Well, every one of these 3 month phases is a new regime change for Bitcoin, generally speaking, for that 3 month period. All right. And we generally don't stay in the same regime we were in, generally speaking. Right. We generally switches direction or goes neutral. This is when we're in a full bear. Sorry, if we're in a full bull market or bear market, that can be different. So like over here, we had a rise up from this 3 month to that 3 month. Let me change the color of this so you can see a little bit better. No, you can't see that.
White.
So here it went up. So here it went up, and then we got a little bit of pullback, and then it went up still. Right. So that can happen when we have this major impulse within a bull market or bear market. But other than that, we generally get trend changes. So I'm expecting to see a trend change over here. It'd be strange if this just continued straight now to fall. Far more likely that we get a move up to over here or even up to over here, and then we continue down. Um, the next big leg down, if it's not this 3 quarters, if it's not in this quarter, would be the next quarter, which starts around April. So that's where I would expect a big flush out in April, and it makes sense. Q2, that's when that's when you could expect a big washout in the markets. Plus, if to corroborate that idea, if we take a look at what's going on the Nasdaq or S&P, S&P did all-time highs last week, and the Nasdaq still has its it's not at the all-time highs yet because tech is there's a lot more defensive stocks in the S&P than there are in the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is high beta, right? It's all about growth. It's all about borrowing. It's way more sensitive to that sort of thing. That's volatility within the bond market. Whereas the S&P, there's stocks in the S&P that go up when things go down, right? When
Right.
things are bad. And so that's why the S&P is at all-time highs. But Nasdaq could easily get to over here, 26,375. Do that and then roll over. In fact, that's what I would expect. I wouldn't expect to have this unmitigated level up here before we roll over. So bodes well for a bounce over the next couple of weeks, maybe a month and a half, bounce up before we roll back over and we just give up the ghost on all kinds of different things. So we'll see there, but that's the suckers rally that I think we're about to get into.
Oh, wait, you're gonna have to explain that more concisely. Like, what is a sucker's rally? Is there a simple explanation that's not 10 minutes long?
In a bear market, when you have rallies in a bear market, they can be extreme. These are bear traps. All right. And so, since we're at the beginning of what I believe is a bear market, I think we're going to have initially a rally that sucks people in thinking we're going long before everything turns and falls down.
And you said it can go as high as 114 for the suckers rally?
On Bitcoin, absolutely.
Holy smokes. That's gonna pull in a lot of people.
Yeah. Guess who's going to be shorting at 114 though? Now, if I'm wrong, the dollar turns around and there's all kinds of different liquidity characteristics that come into play, and the Fed decides to do this, or Trump decides to go and rapture the Chinese emperor or whatever. Okay, things will be different. But as it is right now, yeah, I expect to be a short-term rally and then just completely give up the ghost, and that's when they'll come in and be like, okay, now we got to put liquidity in, sérieusement, pretty seriously. And then we'll see what happens from there.
Quick question. World War
Let's hear
III.
it.
Is it happening?
Yes. Next question. Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Gaza, soon to be China, Taiwan. By the way, place your poly market bets. If you want to make 6x return when you wake up in the morning and China has invaded Taiwan, you're not going to want to miss that trade. Watch this space. I put out a tweet about that recently, just in case people are interested.
It's a dark trade.
It's a dark time. I'm sorry, Peter. It's a dark time. Okay.
Okay.
And the only way you're going to get through is by making the money that you need to make. So this is I put this out on January 5th. If you bet $1,000 on China invading Taiwan in 2026, there's 3 markets right now for that, or 3 different time frames you can have for that on Polymarket. You can do invasion by March 31st. You can do invasion by June or invasion by December. And if you spread your bets out for that, so your bets are nicely placed throughout the entire year, you can make anywhere from $6,000 to $7,500 on that $1,000 bet.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I wanted to put this out except for the Maduro got raptured. They just plucked him. So, and Donald Trump is saying we got to get Greenland now because reasons.
They got to get Greenland. It's strategic. I mean, they shouldn't have given up Greenland to begin with. I don't know what president did that, but that was stupid.
And this comes from the Kim Carson. We'll pull up my screen here. Kim Carson put out on December 30th a comment on this other guy's Tick X account that says, "What if within 72 hours Venezuela falls, Iran falls, Ukraine falls, Taiwan falls? Imagine that." So then, when they last year bombed Iran, and then this year they stole the guy from Venezuela, and Ukraine, the war is basically they're going to give up the Ukraine to the Russians. Well, next one's Taiwan. So I go, look, they're going to invade Taiwan. Okay. If they're going to do it at all, it's going to be now, right? Are they going to wait until AOC's in office? I don't think so. So let's just understand what's going on. We get on board. We make the money that we need to make. We feed our families. We survive through. Sorry, Anne Frank. Sorry, you're going to have to go sometimes. Sometimes you're going to have to go. All right.
Yeah.
I got to get back into the forge.
Get to work.
because I can feel myself getting a little bit outrighty here on the call.
Oh.
A little bit outrighty, a little bit America first here on the call. All right, I can
Okay.
feel it bubbling up. I'm gonna go
Right.
watch a little bit of Pod Save America, get some vitamin Kamala Harris, and just
Vitamin
calm
K.
myself down into a centrist role.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right.
There's a lot.
There's a lot I could say.
That's
but-
for Taiwan. That's for Taiwan.
Oh no. Come on, man. Come on. There's people who live there.
Peter, that's the reason I only talked about the bet for poly market. I haven't put it on because if I put it on, I'm gonna wake up every day hoping.
Yep.
It's a little too America first. Let's just go ahead and let's just put an end to this, Peter. We've done enough.
All right. All right.
We've done enough.
Thanks, everybody. SacredProfit.com. Get the indicators right now. They're so good.
I mean, Mickey Kelly's even
Wait, whoa. We're still on camera here.
Mickey Kelly's even like, hey, what's going on with this Israel thing? What's happening? Why shouldn't we look into